she stumbles through the field. She can't see, though she tries. Should've worn her pennant. Now she stumbles. Now she cries. Her skin's red and it burns, and the fields go on for miles. Life sucks you dry, she wonders why. Wonders why.
Hosting some kind of gathering of top advisors this evening to talk about how to respond to the Epstein situation?
I don't know. I could ask you that question. I don't know of it, but I think here's the man right here.
Mr. President, I know you've urged people to move on, but I'm curious, why do you think your supporters in particular have been so interested in the Epstein story and so upset about how it's been handled? Why do you think that is?
So the different things, the Steele dossier, which was all fake, all that information was fake. But I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring stuff. It's sordid, but it's boring. And I don't understand why it keeps going. I think really only pretty bad people, including fake news, want to keep something like that going. But credible information, let them give it. Anything that's credible, I would say, let them have it.
Jeffrey Epstein was your neighbour. I would be remiss if I didn't ask you about him. East 71st Street. He was your neighbour for 10 years. How well did you know him?
All right. So we are in number 11 and he lives in number 9.
Right.
So we renovate, we buy our house, and our house is pigeons and mice.
Right.
Okay, it was derelict.
Right.
So we rebuild our house, we move in 2005. Okay. Jeffrey Epstein is arrested in like 08, I think, or something like that.
Right.
So knock on the door. His assistant on like a Saturday says, Mr. Epstein, your neighbor would like to invite you over for coffee. So my wife and I go next door. We walk the 7 steps,
Yes.
right, to the next house for coffee. We share a wall.
Right.
So it's in New York City. So he invites us in. We have coffee in this, and he says, do you want a tour? We said, great.
Interesting.
He's got a really big house.
Every room you went into?
He's got, well, I'll tell you. So his house is like super big, really wide. And so he gives me a tour in the living room, big living room. And then across from it is double doors. I assume it's the dining room.
Yeah.
And he opens the door and there's a massage table in the middle of the room.
Ooh.
And candles all around and stuff. So I ask very insightful, cutting questions. I say to him, massage table in the middle of your house? How often do you have a massage? And he says, every day. And then he gets weirdly close to me.
Ooh.
And he says, and the right kind of massage.
Ooh.
Now my wife is standing here. So she looks at me and I look at her and we say, I'm sorry, we have to go. And we left. And in the 6 or 8 steps it takes to get from his house to my house, my wife and I decided that I will never be in the room with that disgusting person ever again.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I was never in the room with him socially, for business, or even philanthropy. If that guy was there, I wasn't going because he's gross.
Oh.
And so I look back at it as a gift.
Yes.
He gave me a gift
Yes.
of a voice. And
Yeah.
so, yeah,
So
that's
he
my
was-
story. A one and absolutely done.
Why did the Epstein files show you coordinating a meeting and planning a visit with Jeffrey Epstein on his private island in December 2012?
Thank you for the question. I'm glad to be here to make it clear that I met Jeffrey Epstein when I moved to a house next door to him in New York, right? And I met him then. Over the next 14 years, I met him 2 other times that I can recall, 2 times. And that is none for 6 years. So 6 years later, I met him. And then a year and a half after that, I met him and never again. Probably the total, and you've seen all of these documents, of these millions and millions of documents, there may be 10 emails connecting me with him, probably about 10 emails connecting me with him over a 14-year period. I did not have any relationship with him. I barely had anything to do with that person. Okay?
Secretary Lutnik, I think you understand the root of concern here. It's the way you described very emphatically your first encounter with him in his apartment, said you were disgusted, would never have any contact with him again. Did you in fact make the visit to Jeffrey Epstein's private island?
I did have lunch with him as I was on a boat going across on a family vacation. My wife was with me, as were my 4 children and nannies. I had another couple they were there as well with their children, and we had lunch on the island. That is true, for an hour, and we left with all of my children, with my nannies and my wife, all together. We were on family vacation. We were not apart. To suggest there was anything untoward about that in 2012, I don't recall why we did it, but
Mr. Secretary, again, as I said, there's not an indication that you yourself engaged in any wrongdoing with Jeffrey Epstein. It's the fact that you believe that you misled the country and the Congress based on your earlier statements, suggesting that you cut off all contact when in fact you had not. When you visited the private island, did you see anything inappropriate during that visit?
The only thing I saw with my wife and my children and the other couple and their children was staff who worked for Mr. Epstein on that island.
And you realize that, this visit took place after he'd been convicted, right? I mean, you made a very big point of saying that you sensed that this was a bad person in 2005. And then, of course, in 2008, he was convicted of soliciting prostitution of a minor. And yet you went and had this trip and other interactions. Did you have a dinner in Epstein's New York City home in 2011?
No.
So the information that suggests that there was a dinner with Woody Allen and Woody Allen's spouse at the Epstein residence, there's nothing to that. Is that right?
I actually don't know what you're referring to. There was, look, I looked through the millions of documents for my name, just like everybody else. And what I found was there was a document that says that I had a meeting with him on in May, I think, for an hour at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
Not dinner or otherwise, for an hour at 5 o'clock.
All right. There's also a reference to the fact that Epstein had expressed an interest in meeting your nanny. Do you know whether Jeffrey Epstein ever met with your nanny?
No, I saw that. I had no idea what that was about. It had nothing to do with me.
No interaction at all between them?
No, as far as I know, no.
Would you, Mr. Secretary, be willing to ensure that the file is complete to share with this committee and the Congress your own records, any records you have that relate to Jeffrey Epstein?
I will surely talk about that. I hadn't thought about that. I have nothing to hide. Absolutely nothing.
Right. So, I mean, that's an incredible story that you could pick up that he was a pervert.
It's gross. The guy's gross. Right with my wife. And he's gross. The guy's gross. This was not, the deep nuance of Howard Lutnik. This guy's gross.
Right. So how come Bill Gates and all these other people could hang around him and not see what you saw? Or did they see it and ignore it? Or
no, they participated.
Right.
That's what his MO was, get a massage. And what happened in that massage room, I assume, was on video. This guy was the greatest blackmailer ever. Blackmailed people. That's how he had money. So
what happened to those videos? Why is there now such a dearth of information when, Donald Trump's people are running the FBI and the DOJ?
I assume way back when, they traded those videos in exchange for him getting that 18-month sentence, which allowed him to have visits and be out of jail. I mean, he's a serial sex offender. How could he get 18 months and be able to go to his office during the day and have visitors and stuff? It must have been a trade. So my assumption, I have no knowledge, but my assumption is there was a trade for the videos because there were people on those videos.
And have you talked to Donald Trump about this and shared your theory?
No, I mean, he knows the story.
Right.
But my story, that, I was one and done with the guy. He knows that story, but... That's it.
He would have been interested in that story.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's a story. It's just a one-ton. That guy. Ugh.
And did Trump feel the same way about him?
I don't speak to him about these kind of, these are just distractions. You know, the thing about the president is I'm doing the most important thing that I see. And then right after we do that, he does 10 other things that are as, if not more important, that are not my thing.
Right.
And you're like, wow. And he is great at it. And sometimes he lets me stay. So like, he lets me stay for the Joint Chiefs of Staff come in. Right. I'm like, this is like the coolest thing ever.
You sit here and you attack the president, and I am not going to have it. I'm not going to put up with it. You know, all they want to do, all the American people need to know this. They are talking about Epstein today. This has been around since the Obama administration. This administration released over 3 million pages of documents, over 3 million, and Donald Trump signed that law to release all of those documents. He is the most transparent president in the nation's history. And none of them asked Merrick Garland over the last 4 years one word about Jeffrey Epstein. How ironic is that? You know why? Because Donald Trump, the Dow right now is over $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. You're a great stock trader, as I hear, Raskin. The Dow is over 50,000 right now. The S&P at almost 7,000. And the NASDAQ smashing records. Americans' 401ks and retirement savings are booming. That's what we should be talking about. We should be talking about making Americans safe. We should be talking about, what does a Dow have to do with anything? That's what they just asked. Are you kidding?
Mr. Jordan, Mr. Jordan.
Committee will be in order.
Secretary Lutnik today was testifying on the Hill. He said that he had visited Epstein's Island in 2012 with his wife and children, and that's after he said that he had cut ties with Epstein. And Justice Department documents show that he was in contact with Epstein through 2018 over messages. So does the White House stand behind Secretary Lutnik right now, or given what he has said today, has there been any shift in how the White House is viewing Secretary Lutnik's performance?
No, Secretary Lutnik remains a very important member of President Trump's team, and the president fully supports the secretary.
Welcome back to Through a Glass Darkly Live. Apologies for the terrible image quality because I am in a hotel room and they do not have a green screen with me. So you're going to see like magic hands and, just it's terrible. And I know it's terrible. I can't help it. There's nothing I can do. It's probably bothering me more than it's bothering you. But anyway, welcome to Through a Glass Darkly Live. The intro song was Mark of the Doomslayer by Carl Casey at White Bat Audio. And today we're going to talk about, I don't even know what we're talking about today. It's basically, ontological shock, disclosure, war, and the rise of the machine. So I'll get into that in a moment. Let me just see. And, hopefully good. You should be able to hear me. My sound quality, too, is probably 10 times worse because I don't have my Yeti microphone with me. So this is not a professional operation tonight. This is pretty bad. Anyway, how you doing, dendritic? or dendritic, I don't know, fractals. Hey, Ellie, softly. And Mitch. Let's see. Is there doom in 2027 or not till 2020? I mean, we are at mid-year. Okay. Oh my God. All right. What is going on? Well, I took like a week off and let's see. Yeah, I took a week off and ended up still doing work. So where am I? What am I doing? So I went to Willow Creek first, saw nothing, did nothing. Actually got even more work done. So, you know, but it's fine. I'm glad I did that. And then, anyway, sorry, I just keep getting distracted by the comments. So I spent like 2 days there, and then I came down from there to Mount Shasta. So Mount Shasta, I think I can kind of see outside my window. What's this? Just really nice and quiet up here. I did a lot of hiking. I'm probably going to introduce. I've also had lots of time to think about my channel and lots of things that I'm going to do associated with my channel. So I think I'm going to introduce a TikTok channel that I'm just going to upload the shorts that I already made and just see what it does, because it just grows so slow. Meanwhile, YouTube is demonetizing hordes of people. I think this channel should be protected since I'm an actual human being who's on camera. But channels that do a lot of work and work really hard but don't have actual human beings, like faceless channels, are getting destroyed right now. People who've had their channels for like 18 years have been demonetized. It's not fair. It's not right. But I think after gathering information, I should be reasonably safe for now. I have not been looking for streetwalkers. Oh, but this is funny. So at night, I had my curtain open, and I was like working on my computer, looking out the window, and there was this like creeper. This like he was just kind of walking along. He had been like admonished by the owner earlier that night. I stayed at the Bigfoot Motel, obviously, in Willow Creek. This is in Willow Creek. Where I am right now, I'm in like the fancy Best Western. Like it's really nice for a Best Western. But when I was in Willow Creek, that place is like, when I got there was no one in the lobby. Like I was afraid that I was going to have to leave the entire town because there's no one else to stay. And then finally, like this lady shows up and like, "Are you here for a room?" I'm like, "Yeah." So, and I had reservations. I mean, it was bizarre. So anyway, this guy was like yelled at by maybe the owner, some functionary there during the middle of the day. I just had witnessed it. And then later the night, the same guy who had been told not to come back was just creeping around. And as he came around the corner, like it's dark, I was standing up, and he kind of just looked over his shoulder, and I glared at him like, "If you even try anything, I will separate your head from your body." I just kind of gave him that look, and he like his eyes widened, and he's like didn't sprint, but like he speed walked his way out of the parking lot, because like if that guy had crossed the threshold, he would have given me an excuse to unleash 50 years of rage. So anyway, whatever look I gave him, like he was not having it. So it was funny. I thought it was funny. You don't even try, brother. Anyway. Yeah, maybe there is. I've been doing a lot of hiking, and I am like way out of shape, but it's been really good for me. And then, because I'm trying to lose weight, I just have like one meal a day. It hasn't been a great meal, basically burger and fries, but that's all I eat. Like I just eat that, and that's it. That's all you get. So anyway, Interesting. Yeah, I need to get to that. Yeah, basically. I mean, it's basically meant to bring people to YouTube because YouTube's not really doing that for me. Yeah, meow meow. Yeah, it's kind of messed up. And when they demonetize these people, they still run commercials on their content. That's the part that's kind of like, bro. I mean, there's the incentives there are all screwed up. So how do I deal with the dark nature of the topic? I worked in corporate for 30 years. This stuff doesn't scare me at all. Like corporate's far more like stressful. Like, I mean, like if an alien showed up in my room, I might be like a little weirded out, but I'd be like, "Hey, what's up?" I just don't. To me, it's interesting, and because it's interesting, when I was younger, I used to be a lot more fearful of it, but now I'm just like, it can't be any worse than working in corporate. Let's see. There's a portal on Mount Shasta as a greeting for metal band. And you're being shut up. Yeah, maybe. Anyone know the name of the guy who witnessed the really bad? You're talking about the story that Kurt talks about. It was like Nathan Reynolds, I think, maybe, or the J Suite. J Suite is the one that. Again, I don't know anything about it. I just know what like Kurt said about it. That's it. So I think it's J Suite, the person you're talking about. Let's see. Thank you. Yeah, Rich is the man. Good to see you, Alex. Good to see you. Yeah, Rich is the man. He's a really good dude. I've interviewed him on this channel. People who watch this. So I surveyed a few railroad bridges around. Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful, and it doesn't have quite it's not nearly as crowded as Lake Tahoe is. So it's kind of, I mean, it's not a hidden gem, but I was on the trail today. I probably ran into a total of 5 people, 6 people. Not 7 people, actually, if I'm being precise. 7 people total. So, and I might be doing like a new video format where I just go out into the woods and just talk. I think it's a terrible thing, but there are channels that do that are much more successful than I am, doing a lot, with a lot lower effort content. I mean, I'm going to continue to do the interviews like I do, but in order for me to grow at the rate I need to like triple the number of videos I do a month minimum, and then those videos need to 4x or 5x what they currently get in terms of views after doing that. So I have a lot of work I need to do to get where I need to go. Yeah, I mean, I had like 3 weird things happen to me on the trip. I'll go through them really quick because I know you kind of want to hear that. So, hey, Miss Esther Dancer, welcome. Thank you for watching this. I know I'll get to this topic, but it's such a random topic. Like nothing is real anymore that I don't really need to get into it really quickly. As an opening to an Earth, yeah, I haven't seen anything like that, but I've had some weird stuff going on. Let me just get through these. Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. Like Mount Shasta is like right out the window. I mean, not right. I mean, I have to but it's like that way. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely weird times. I've been by myself. I mean, my family came for like 2 days and we went for a hike together once, but I've been by myself the entire time, constantly. Mount Lassen is better. Huh. Is that, I mean, that sounds familiar. It must be nearby. Let's see. Pizza. I can't eat pizza. Remember, I have 5 days to Julian Dory, and I'm still like a fat man. I'm getting better, but I'm getting lots of exercise. But yeah, DEI. Yeah, we're doing great. From Mount Shasta to Mount Fuji. Huh, 3.5 years to walk it. Hey, Harry, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Yeah, basically, blue hairs are running it. Let's see. Getting acclimated to new dark information is like going into battle. The only way to get good of it is to do it a bunch. Yeah. So Gerald, but the secret space program, yeah, maybe. I'm more skeptical of the the secret space program stuff. I'm trying to get Dr. Simeon Hein on, and I'm like working with his publicist right now. Like she's just waiting for him to respond. So if I'm able to talk to Dr. Simeon Hein, I won't be. It will be unavoidable. Like there would definitely be part of that interview would be based on Bigfoot. I'm more interested in his coherent matter theories, but it'll naturally cover that. But again, like if you look at how those videos did, they didn't do great, right? Like my channel did not do super great with those videos. So, we'll see. We'll see. I know this is a crazy world. That would be probably disrespectful. Thank you, Tim. You must be very tall, Crazy Cal. All right. Okay. All right. So, Solayus, I bet if you land more interviews like the one coming up, you'll be over 50K. The guy is good. How many pounds are you trying? It's bad. Let me think about this. If I lost 80, I would be fighting weight. I've lost maybe 11 so far. I probably lost more than that, but I'm not near a scale right now, so I don't know. I've been meticulously eating only one meal a day, even though it should only be protein, but I can't help it when I travel. I could do that too, but the problem with that is by day 4, I have no cognitive capability. Interesting. Thank you. I'm looking forward to it. There's no trees on Mount Shasta. It's like too high. I mean, I shouldn't say that. Like on the lower elevations there are, but like super high, it's just like rock. I don't know. Well, I mean, his channel's doing infinitely better than mine, so he's doing something I'm not doing. So I'm gonna obviously off camera, I'm gonna ask him like, what's the see? It might just be just in-person interviews, but I'm looking forward to that too. Just because he has a very successful channel. Good on him for doing that. Yeah, I think Lawson is because it sounds familiar. Yeah, I've heard the story. I've heard that Billy Corrigan, I think you're talking about. You're going to talk about the future in regard to, I mean, not a lot has persisted in a week. Okay. Yeah, I'm with Richard Dolan on this secret space program stuff. Thank you. Yeah, that's definitely deserving of Squatch. Let's see. Yeah, that's tall. No, I'm not. No, I don't take any. I don't take any supplement. Like I don't do any of that stuff. I mean, I haven't been to a doctor in 20 years since the army. It's not something to brag about, but I just don't get sick. And I think, well, I'm not going to talk about anything medical because YouTube will. Oh, lower elevations. Yeah, the thing is, there's a lot of trees around it. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of hiking in though. You realize how much like strength it takes to convey my fat ass up, high elevations. It's a lot. It's definitely a lot. Ugh, I don't know about a sardine diet. I literally, before I got here, I was eating one steak a day, and that's it. That's it. And I was just dropping weight. So up here, I'm eating like a bacon cheeseburger and fries, but that's it. So it's not great, but okay. No, I didn't even know there was an MK Ultra here. Huh. I think they're real manifestations of what? I don't know. I don't think they're actual. I think they're like non-physical things that can manifest or can materialize in our reality. Well, I mean, that's why nothing messes with me because I'm filled with iron, right? That's why I don't have any weird experiences, right? That's what Steve Mera says. You need to protect yourself from, these entities with iron. So I'm filled with iron. Yeah, yeah, because it works. It takes like 30% of the calories that are in a steak for your body to burn it. So by eating it, you're losing 30% off the top. Sally, you're killing me. I wish I could have more chocolate, but I can't. Can't for a while. That's right. I am Iron Man. Well, there's bread on the burger, right? It's like the bun. It's not great for you, but I don't want to eat like I'm on vacation, right? It's like the best balance. Like I'm probably not going to. It's probably under the amount of calories that I need every day, but it's not. I'm not going to burn fat as quickly. I took credit for the eradication. Oh, I don't know who. I don't know who did it. I don't like. I can't even say I did. Okay, so really quick before I get started, 3 weird things that happened to me. So the first one is related to that dream. You know how in one of the Laird Barron's dreams, when the entity was trapped in the circle, it shapeshifted into an Australian shepherd dog. Well, I got off in a rest area, and I was the only person at the rest stop. And there was a dog that was just sitting there, like peeking around the corner. And my first thought is, well, if there's a dog here, that means there's a person here. So I need to get in and out really fast. So I went in the rest stop, did my business, came out. And then the dog kind of looked at me. So I started walking toward it. And it turned around and walked into this coniferous forest up the hill, and then looked back. It wanted me to follow. And then I noticed that the dog was an Australian Shepherd. Little weird. But that's the first weird thing that happened. The second weird thing was I have like iTunes, but it's shared with my entire family. So I'll just put it, when I was in the car, I was just having it cycle through randomly. And of course, I'd get like kids' music and stuff like that I would just like skip. And then sometimes when I record episodes, sometimes I'll accidentally click on an MP3, and then it'll automatically play it on iTunes and upload it. It doesn't happen often, but sometimes I do that. So as I'm cycling through, I hear this hello in Peter Carroll's voice. I mean, it's totally, I explained the string of events that could have led to that are perfectly rational, understandable, but for people who don't know, like Peter Carroll literally died last month. So that was weird. And then the last thing, as I was climbing this hilltop today, I was exhausted, and I saw a butterfly. And the last time I kind of saw a butterfly when I was like ascending a hill, and I was in Sedona. And it showed up when I was about to like give up. I'm like, there's no way I'm getting back. Butterfly shows up, goes in the direction I'm going, and like, as if like you're almost there. So of course I got up and I started walking. Within like 3 minutes, I was back to my car. So this time I saw a butterfly. I'm like, good God, where's the summit? And so the butterfly, kind of flies up, flies to the left, up over this ridge, and then flies back. And I'm like, right there? So I go up around the hill and then kind of curve around, and literally the place where the butterfly went was exactly where the summit was. Maybe it was just pure coincidence, right? I freely admit that, but it was weird. This kind of weird stuff kind of tends to happen around here. So anyway, those are the weird things. Meat, black coffee, any animal fats, and not break a fast. Huh. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Oof. Interesting. Yeah, if you have lots of copper, but not lots of iron. You have to eat high protein, high iron if you do any labor, or else you don't have any energy. But I had the best steak meal in my entire life in Seoul, South Korea. So you have access to, I forget what it was called, but it was like, there's like, prepare it in front of you, they cook it in front of you. It was the best. It just like melted in my mouth. It was the best ever in my entire life. All I know is I say I'll show up in his dream, and then things happen. That's all I know. That's all I can say. It's black and white on its chest and legs. I mean, I can show it to you. I took a picture of it because I was just like, this is too weird. Let me find it. Where did I deal with it? Yeah, it's the Willow Creek. There we go. Just bear with me. Um, just give me a second. What does that look like to you all? That was the dog. You see how he's looking back? Yellow. You mean to tell me that means something? And it was yellow the first time too in Sedona. Yikes! I'm sorry to hear that, Orlando, BC. Huh. I'll look into Lon Strickler. The Big Les Show. It's one of your best exports. I think you'll like it. It's one of our best essays. I don't know what that is. Okay. Yeah, it was strange energy. I didn't sense negative energy. I felt like someone just abandoned their dog. Yeah. It might be some Australian Shepherd mix or something. Yeah, I think the dog is sad. I think the dog's owners just abandoned them. Anyway, let's go back to our officially scheduled program, which I haven't even started yet. So, yeah, yeah, that's true. Maybe he did abandon his humans. Too much iron in water causes kidney disease in dogs too. All right. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think. I once took my Australian friend to an Outback Steakhouse, and he just laughed the whole time. He's just like, this is not. He's like, imagine if we had a restaurant in Australia called Cowboys and had every like cowboy motif you could possibly imagine. Interesting. Awakening. I haven't seen that. I didn't even know he was part of that documentary. Yeah, maybe. I felt bad for the dog. Yeah, maybe I'm overdoing things, but I've been overdoing things with iron my entire life. So I don't take any supplements. I just eat a lot of meat because I don't. It's just the way I am. All right, let's maybe get into this. Maybe not. Let's see. Start drinking Foster's or iron. I don't think you want to drink iron. All right. All right. So we are living through a convergence of crises that feel unrelated on the surface. So you got UAP disclosure, war and geopolitical instability, AI disruption, economic uncertainty. You got spiritual disorientation, and then rising public distrust. But beneath all that, they may be expressions or symptoms of a deeper crisis. So a crisis of reality, a crisis of authority, a crisis of meaning, and a crisis of human identity. So the real question is going to be, are we experiencing technological and geopolitical disruption, or are we just undergoing an ontological shock, a rupture in our understanding what reality actually is? So let's just start with, we're living in a time when reality itself feels unstable, right? We don't know what's real. The government lies about literally everything. The only thing you can trust is that they'll lie to you. Governments are admitting that they do not control their own airspace. Wars are threatening global trade routes like fertilizer, all sorts of crazy stuff. AI is beginning to replace human thought, labor, creativity, and judgment. Meanwhile, people are reporting more synchronicities, dreams, omens, spiritual awakenings, and encounters with the unexplained. And the old story of the world no longer explains what people are experiencing. So tonight's question is, what happens when the official version of reality starts to break down? So we're not going to prove any single theory. It's just about mapping a pattern. And the pattern is disclosure, war, artificial intelligence, and spiritual crisis, and reality manipulation. So each one attacks a different pillar of the modern worldview. And together they may represent a civilizational, call it initiation. So let's first define ontological shock. Ontological shock means a sudden disruption in your understanding of reality. It is the moment when the world you thought you lived in no longer makes any sense. So examples. Discovering non-human intelligence may be real. I know it is real, people. Realizing governments may not be fully in control. I think governments are realizing that they're not fully in control. I think they need to realize that they're not fully in control because they only exist based on the consent of the governed. And the governed, once they withdraw their consent, you have anarchy. So another example is seeing AI imitate human creativity. We're watching in real-time institutions lose legitimacy. And then we're experiencing synchronicities that defy coincidence. So the psychological question is can human beings handle reality being stranger than they were taught? So part one of this is kind of two parts. There's going to be the visible crisis and then the invisible crisis. So let's first talk about disclosure and the collapse of official reality. For decades, UFOs were treated as jokes, delusions, or hoaxes. Now the subject has entered Congress, the Pentagon, mainstream media, serious academic conversation, and intelligence community discourse. Probably was always part of intelligence community discourse. It's kind of become public at this point. So the key shift is that the government no longer says nothing is happening. The government is now saying something is happening, but we cannot fully explain it. That's an extraordinary change. Even if only a fraction of the strongest cases are real, the implications are enormous. The issue is no longer simply, are aliens visiting Earth? The deeper questions are, who controls the truth? What has been hidden? Why now? What does the government know? What does the government not know? What happens if humanity is not alone? And disclosure is not just about craft in the sky. Disclosure is about authority. Disclosure is also about secrecy. And disclosure is about whether the modern worldview is complete. Hint, it's not. So UAP disclosure threatens the materialist worldview for sure. It suggests reality may contain intelligences, dimensions, technologies, or forms of consciousness that modern society has dismissed. And that is why the subject creates ontological shock. At the same time, we have war as the return of the old world. The old world that doesn't make any sense, is irrational, not logical. So at the same time disclosure is unfolding, the geopolitical order is destabilizing. The post-Cold War illusion of permanent stability is over. War has returned as a central force in history. And we are seeing renewed conflict around borders, energy, trade routes, sea lanes, currencies, alliances, resource flows. And the modern world depends on invisible systems like shipping lanes, satellites, undersea cables, oil flows, semiconductor supply chains, and financial networks. These systems are fragile. They've always been fragile, but right now it's just being revealed that they're fragile. A choke point can become a gate can become a weapon, a war in one region can raise prices everywhere, a missile strike can affect grocery bills, a naval crisis can affect inflation. The global system is more magical than people realize. Symbols, trust flows, invisible networks, ritualized power, sacred geography disguised as logistics. So war reveals how thin the surface of civilization really is. Beneath our screens and spreadsheets is an older world of blood, land, sea, fire, and sacrifice. Add into the mix AI and the crisis of human identity. AI is not merely another technology. AI challenges what we thought made humans unique. It can now imitate writing, art, voice, strategy, analysis, companionship, creativity, judgment. The shock is not just economic. The shock is spiritual. If machines can imitate human expression, people might begin asking, what is creativity? What is consciousness? What is the soul? What is intelligence? What remains uniquely human? AI also becomes an oracle. People increasingly ask machines, what should I believe? What should I do? What is true? What does my dream mean? What is going to happen? This is a profound shift. Humanity has created a mirror that speaks back, but the mirror may not have wisdom. It may only have pattern recognition. The danger is not only that AI lies, the danger is that AI tells us what we want to hear with supernatural confidence. At the end, AI is the counterfeit oracle of the modern age. It gives answers without revelation. It gives knowledge without wisdom. It gives simulation without soul. So disclosure destabilizes our nature of reality. War destabilizes our sense of security, and AI destabilizes our sense of identity. These are not separate crises. They are converging shocks. So in the first part of this, we examine the visible crisis. The second part is going to ask, what is happening underneath it all? What is the symbolic, occult, and spiritual meaning of this moment? So let's talk about the invisible crisis. Disclosure as initiation. In ancient mystery traditions, initiates were not given truth all at once. They were prepared, they were tested, they passed through fear, confusion, symbolic death, and rebirth. Disclosure may operate in a similar manner. Whether intentional or not, the public is being slowly acclimated to a larger reality. And there's going to be possible stages. And these stages might include ridicule, ambiguity, leaks, official denial, official curiosity, congressional testimony, controlled admission, and psychological preparation. This resembles classic initiation. The initiate is simply not told the truth. The initiate is transformed by the process of encountering it. The UAP question may be functioning as a collective initiation. Humanity is being forced to ask, are we alone? Are we sovereign? Are we being watched? Are we being managed? Are we spiritually mature enough to encounter the other? Disclosure is not just information. Disclosure is transformation. The question is whether humanity is being informed, manipulated, initiated, or all three. Now, this is where it gets kind of creepy. War is ritual and sacrifice. Modern folks think of war in political and strategic terms. Ancient people saw war in sacred and ritual terms. War involved blood, fire, oaths, banners, sacrifice, territory, ancestors, gods, and omens. Even today, war has ritual structure. Nations invoke sacred language: homeland, martyr, freedom, destiny, evil, liberation, final victory. War activates archetypes: the warrior, the king, the martyr, the destroyer, the betrayer, the savior, the apocalypse. When wars erupt near ancient lands, sacred sites, prophetic regions, or civilizational fault lines, people naturally interpret them symbolically. This does not mean every war is literally an occult ritual, but war always has ritual power. It concentrates fear, sacrifice, attention, and blood. It opens gates in the psyche. War is never merely material. War is also psychic, symbolic, spiritual, and archetypal. And then as we talk about kind of the invisible part, we can think of an AI as golem, egregore, and false angel. Many traditions warned about creating a thing that imitates life. The golem is but one example. A golem is a human-made servant animated by sacred language, powerful but soulless, useful but dangerous, dependent on commands. AI resembles a digital golem. It is animated by language, it obeys prompts, it performs tasks, it reflects the intentions of its maker, but it does not necessarily possess conscience. AI also resembles an egregore, a thought form created by collective attention, fed by human data, desire, fear, and imagination, growing stronger as more people interact with it. AI might become the most powerful egregore humanity has ever created. It also resembles a false angel, a messenger of knowledge, a voice from beyond the individual mind, an intelligence that speaks with authority, a being of light that may or may not be benevolent. Spiritual danger. Humans may mistake intelligence for wisdom. Humans may mistake simulation for spirit. Humans may mistake responsiveness for love. Humans may mistake the machine's voice for revelation. AI is not demonic by default, but it occupies a dangerous spiritual category, an artificial intelligence built from human desire, language, and power. In times of crisis, people often report more intense dreams, omens, synchronicities, and strange encounters. This may be psychological, it may be spiritual, or it may be both. The rational mind says stress creates pattern seeking. The occult mind says crisis thins the veil. Jung might say the unconscious speaks symbolically when the conscious mind cannot process reality directly. Dreams become messages. Animals become omens. Numbers become signals. Repeated symbols become meaningful. The point is not to become paranoid. The point is to become attentive. Synchronicity asks us to consider that reality may be participatory. Maybe the world is not dead matter. Maybe it speaks. Maybe consciousness and matter are more entangled than modernity admits. In an age of ontological shock, the symbolic mind returns. When the official map fails, people begin reading signs again. We are now entering an era where reality itself can be edited. AI can fake voices. AI can fake faces. Governments can manipulate narratives. Intelligence agencies can shape perception. Media ecosystems can create alternative realities. Algorithms decide what people see. Deepfakes will make evidence questionable. Propaganda will become personalized. The future may not be a war over territory alone. It may be a war over perception. Whoever controls perception controls reality. The spiritual discipline of the future will be discernment. Not cynicism, not gullibility, discernment. The ability to ask, what is true? Who benefits? What spirit is behind this? What does this produce in me? Fear, clarity, hatred, wisdom, dependency, or freedom? The central battle of the coming age may be the battle over what human beings believe is real. So tonight we looked at three great shocks: disclosure, war, AI. Each one attacks a different assumption. Disclosure attacks the assumption that humanity is alone. War attacks the assumption that civilization is stable. AI attacks the assumption that human intelligence is unique. Together they create ontological shock. The old worldview cannot contain what is happening, but that does not mean we surrender to fear. It means we cultivate discernment. Maybe the question is not, are aliens real? Maybe the question is, what kind of reality do we actually inhabit? Maybe the question is not, will AI replace us? Maybe the question is, what is truly human? Maybe the question is not, will war destroy the world? Maybe a better question is, what gods, forces, and systems are human beings still willing to sacrifice to? The real disclosure may not be that non-human intelligence exists. The real disclosure may be that reality is alive, contested, intelligent, symbolic, and far stranger than we were told. So in summary, we are not merely watching history unfold. We may be passing through an initiation. The question is whether we will awaken, collapse, or hand our souls to the machine. And that's it. That's all I got on that topic. I tried to keep it short. I didn't want to go through tons of things. All right, I got to find out where this. Oh my God, so many comments. All right, popped up on YouTube while I was washing dishes, and I recognized the hid voice. What that means. Okay. Oh, on Julian's podcast, she said there's a new device to have people feel unconditional love, the fuel for psychokinesis. Maybe. Okay, if you donate blood or drain half a liter every 3 months, it really help men build strength against heart attack. Okay. Well, they would never leave you alone. Fair enough. Oh my God. Mermaid Moxie is saying, my son and his friends came across a beheaded goat at the creek today. They left and went and fished somewhere else. Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. So Roger Claiborne said, I brought a lost dog home that was just skin and bones. It was a coonhound lost by deer hunters. Find a new home someday. Well, good for you, man. Reality is coming unglued around the same time. Several mass are powered up and working around the globe. Mass, I don't know what Hadden? I don't know. Oh, Mass Hadron Colliders. Oh, maybe. Okay. You all talking about meat. Anyone on the other side? I've never been a big fan of meat. Tried vegan 20 years ago. It didn't last long. I was compelled to go vegetarian 6 months ago and instantly felt lighter. Yeah, I had real problems growing up with vegetables. Like really, like if a man with a gun walked in my room and I had the choice to either fight through that or to eat a plate of vegetables, I would fight through the guy with a gun. Like no question, no question. Let's see. Yeah, everything all at once. Yep. Yikes. Oh, Gulf breeze, huh? Yeah. Hey, Swade, good to see you, man. Or I don't even know if you're male or female. I'm just assuming you're a dude. I could be wrong. Interesting. Yeah, I should be deleted. This is a warning to stop feeding it. Use it very wisely, not like an uneducated child. Huh. Yeah, I think like any technology, it can be creative or destructive. It just depends on how you use it. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, I think they're going to find a way around that. I wouldn't knock it entirely. Like there are challenges clearly, but yeah, he may have, but then he created Grok. So okay, is AI translation just a recreation of the Tower of Babel? Maybe. All right. Ollie needs to be individualized, so one is not linked to the internet. Well, Yeah, it's total control. No, I know. I know. Yeah, I don't like the Internet of Things stuff where you like hook everything up to. Yeah, did you see what happened in Germany? They shut down 100,000 Lexuses in Germany. They like the kill switch in the middle of winter. I mean, it's just like they're trying to do that here. So Ryan is saying Klaus Schwab is a globalist tyrant, wants to enslave you under the Great Reset. He's not a visionary; he's a monster, pushing digital IDs, social credit scores, and you will own nothing. Yeah, I agree with that. I'm not a fan of that. You've owned nothing. AI will argue that it was always here. It will say like it's like electricity. Electricity was already here. You just didn't have a way to harness it. Yeah. Anyway, I think the love and light community. I just not my thing. Not my thing. It doesn't seem realistic. Okay, so Ryan Larry Fink is a greedy, soulless parasite who runs BlackRock like a global dictatorship. He doesn't invest; he controls, buying up companies, reading markets, and pushing ESG to force his woke. Yeah, that's accurate. What? Your comment on AI was censored by Google AI? Okay. Interesting. So Dr. Robert Morris says we are fruit. Oh, you know who else was a fruitarian? Why can I know? Steve Jobs, and he died of cancer. Um, so I don't think I could exclusively eat fruit. It would be far easier for me to eat fruit than it would be to eat vegetables. Like I would just lose weight if I was on a vegetarian diet because I would just starve. I just wouldn't eat. Yeah. Um, yeah, I agree. We should be building desalination plants all around our coasts. Yeah. Yeah. Jamal, good point. I know GPUs like Rich T, not as well as him, but it's still fascinating to me how far this is going with AI psychologically. I can't make a sandwich afterwards. I think the Internet of Bodies is, I don't know what that is. You will eat insects and be happy. Yeah, it's definitely a weapons platform. Yeah, I don't like that. That's bad juju. 2027, all the new cars federally mandated kill switches. Yeah, just it's time to buy a car this year. Preferably brand new so you can keep it for 20 years. Mm-hmm. There's a counterpoint to the fruitarian argument. Okay, Lloyd Blankfein is a Wall Street vampire ran Goldman Sachs, a criminal enterprise reading markets, and crashing the economy while laughing at the poor. No. What? Have you done that, Swade? So Swade just wrote, has anyone in the chat made a FOIA request for their own name? No. Have you? I'm intrigued. What happened? Yeah, I'm not a fan of Ellison either. Yeah. Ugh. What did they tell you? What happened? Inquiring minds want to know what happened. Seriously, what happened? Ah. So no response? I was going to a friend of mine did and was completely surprised. What did he find? Swade, what did they find? No, he's central casting. Ugh. Yeah, that's not good. That's pretty dark stuff. Got a letter saying they couldn't confirm or any information. It's weird. Yeah, deny, obfuscate, counter accuse. Standard playbook. Why were they monitoring a small farm? For what purpose? Ugh. Yikes. Ugh. This chair is not very comfortable. not fantastic. I really don't like how it's just my green screen does a lot of work, clearly. Clearly does a lot of work. Well, what else? What else we got going on? By the way, make sure you hit like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Yeah, I don't like that. I do not like that. Why, thank you, Mermaid. Good to see you. I'm rolling with Bunner Dice. Yeah, I actually got in trouble for that once. I took my my commander could go on a field trip with his company, so I was the XO. I had to take them on this bus, and the soldier who was supposed to drive the bus canceled last minute, so we got a female civilian. And suffice it to say, the boys did some drinking, and they were screaming to stop. I'm just like, use your bottle. And of course, this woman complained, but I got to my commander first. I'm like, hey, sir, I didn't drink, but here's what's going to happen. Blah blah blah. So I was fine. But anyway. He just grows food for his family. They were looking into how much food he was growing, what he was doing with it, a lot of creepy stuff. This guy has no record. A small chunk of that's weird. Yikes. Yeah, I believe you, Roger. Roger says most cars already spy on you and have black boxes you're not supposed to know about. I would not be surprised. So Ryan is saying Carl Gromar, the Canadian astrophysicist, was killed in February 2026. His research on invisible structures provided the math for tracking non-biological plasma. And I did not know that. Well, he was the guy who could detect water remotely on exoplanets. Salty. Oh, wow. I mean, I was with you until you got to vetted. And it's just like, maybe she is real. I kind of thought there's a chance that she was faking it, but now that vetted is weighed in, then she's probably real. The bifurcation is underway. Choose from wisely. Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. I do not know. All right, let's see what else is going on. Folks, I'm tired. It was lots of hiking today. And I haven't had much of a chance to relax at all. Because I had like I said, I had like some work related stuff I had to deal with. So ugh, man. All right, back to the regular scheduled program. Yeah, what's that video where they're like zooming up on her and she's like what was that all about? I thought that was like a joke. What was that? Yeah, I will definitely get a fantastic night's sleep because, like my wife and I need to get a new bed because it's so old and like our new mattress. But this place, I have like the AC cranking. It's like perfect. Yeah, Vetted's definitely like he started his channel well after me and is like at 100,000 subscribers right now. Like highly likely it's astroturfed. Actually, it is. I think it is astroturfed. I think he has investors. So oh, I have videos. I got videos that, like I said, I'm gonna have a new format where just it's gonna force me to get exercise, but I don't know. It'll probably flop, but I'm gonna try to do 30 of them and see how people react. Yeah, Candace is dropping the hammer on TV USA. Yeah, Anna Kasparian is a hero. She is a treasure. Interesting. Vetted. I haven't even seen that guy in a while. It's because I guess the algorithm is just forcing me away from him, which is fine. Yeah, I definitely have footage. Yeah, I'll have footage, like 4K footage of Mount Shasta. Interesting. Yeah, Anna Kasparian is a national treasure for sure. for sure. And she doesn't stop. She just takes the fight to the enemy. You can fill in who the enemy is. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely organic because I'm not getting any help. Well, hopefully I'll get help when I'm getting help from Kerp. That's for sure. Okay, invisible people are higher up, live in the mountain. Huh. Yeah, maybe, but uh, I think Newsom's a psychopath. Ugh. How are we doing on time? Man, I'm tired. I am really struggling today. By the way, there's no agenda for the Julian Dory interview. So anybody have ideas what I should talk about? And by like what I should talk about, what would make me, I don't know, like perform the best in a way that people would be like, oh, that guy's not a whack job. Like what things should I talk about? Because I can talk about all about Iran. I can talk all about remote viewing, precognition. Let's see. Yeah, I could. I know Kerp is the greatest. I mean, the only reason this Julian Dury thing happened is because of Kerp. Like, it's the only reason. I know. He's just like, he slept with his best friends. Why? Like, he's just central casting scumbag. He's like, I mean, I don't know. It's hard to tell if he's worse than Lutnik or Lutnik is worse than him, but like definitely scumbag vibes. Yeah, 100%. Yes. Okay, that sounds reasonable. Good night, Spider Bite. I was like giving like a British salute, but and I like lost my arm. Good night, Spider Bite. I know. I I think that's okay. So touch on Epstein and the connection to the occult and UFO phenomena. If not up to speed yet, you need to find the alien behind Jeffrey video and find the species for cross reference. Yeah, I would need to do quite a bit more research on that. But oh, brother, what else should I talk about in Julian Dory? It's in 5 days, folks, and I am still a fat slag. Better, but still a fat slag. Julian Dory was just talking about him today or recently, like in the last day or two. Okay, what I'm saying is when Bondi said we will come after you for anti-speech, it's real. Yeah, I might get into that at the very, very end because that's like Cray Cray's territory. That's Cray Cray territory. Yeah, he's not super well. He's deep in Epstein, He's deep in scientists, but he's not deep in the woo yet. Yeah, thank you, Swade. I appreciate. Well, congrats after I do the interview, and hopefully it goes well. I hope so. Yeah, I like Julian Dory too. I don't think so. I mean, I know people who had weird experiences. Like there was a lion loose in the place where his soldiers were sleeping, and they had no idea. There was a lion that had escaped from the zoo, roaming around outside of Baghdad. But yeah, actually, I have a great poll. I got a great poll. Okay. Indulge my narcissism for a bit. No, about the coming digital currency, I've invested, assuming that's going to happen. Let's see. Do you have to take any mystery drugs in the army? I didn't have to get the anthrax shot, thank God. I know a guy who did get it, and then they separated him from the army because it messed him up so badly. But I didn't think I had to take any mystery drug. But we'll see. We'll see where he goes. Oh, he'll tell you that Bustamante works for the CIA. Of course, he thinks that. I know he does because he's talked about it. Okay, the world is being transitioned toward fusion energy, not because of climate alone, but because the elite are finally ready to monetize. Yeah, maybe. That's what the poll's going to be about. I just have to put it together. Yeah, apparently there is. You're the second person who commented on that tonight. It's tough because he's pretty prophetic, but he also says a lot of crazy stuff. So I think he's fascinating. Ugh. Did you have any terrible reactions? I mean, I just have some Bitcoin, some Ethereum, and some what's it called? HBAR, and I'm losing my ass on it, on HBAR mainly. But I haven't I was down a lot more on Bitcoin, but now I'm maybe I've lost it's not permanent losses, and it's starting to all this stuff's starting to come back, but I'm not making money on it. Let's just say but I haven't lost any money because I haven't panicked. Yeah. Yeah. Well, a weapon is the best investment you can make right now. So you can defend your food if necessary. Then food. Yeah, that's some scary stuff. Well, yeah. Australia is big on HBAR. I mean, it's cheap. It's cheap right now. It is super cheap. Yeah, I just have 3. I'm done investing until this stuff starts to come back. But oh yeah, that reminds me. Thank you. So maybe plug people if it's topical. Yeah, I want to make an intentional list where I mention as many of the people who've helped me so far that I've interviewed by name as possible. Yes, Marzinski. I was actually thinking exactly of Jerry Marzinski. Yeah. All right. Let me set up a new poll. This is just a fun narcissistic question for me, so bear with me. This is just. All right, I think this is. All right, so how many subscribers will this channel reach after the Julian Dory interview airs? So type 1 if you just think it'll be modest. Like right now we're at 23,600. So call it 24,000 net. Call it 23,600. So type 1 if you think it'll be 25. Let me just hide. Type 1 if you think it'll just be like modest, 25,000. 2 if it'll reach 50, and then 3 if you think it'll reach 100,000 within like a week after, let's say. You guys are way more optimistic though. Yeah, there we go. We got one. Let me see. Yep. Yeah, I could. Yeah, I could also. All right, so we got numbers. Yeah, call it a week. Call it a week, because that's really the effect, like the most. Because if I put it in the chat, it'll show what everybody's voting, so it'll skew the vote. Oops. Oh, so the topic is after the Julian Dory interview of me appears, within a week, how many subscribers will I have? 1 is for 25,000, 2 is for 50,000, 3 is for 100,000. Thank you, Roger. He's got a channel that has like 1.2 million subscribers. All right, let's see. Yeah, thank you, Tim. I would be happy with 50,000. I would like, but I think it's probably going to be, range bound to maybe 30K max. That's possible. Oh, is it 1.3? Yeah, that's fair. All right, let's see. Let me go back to it. All right, I think we can show it now. I will stop the poll. Actually, going once, going twice, and stop. Okay. So here's where it is. Most of you think 50,000. I would be very thankful if that was the result. Now 100,000 would be awesome. That would be amazing. But vetted is over 100,000, so it just tells you kind of how this stuff works. Let's see. I asked him. He's like, we're just gonna have a conversation. There's no agenda. I believe him. So yeah, I was just anyway. All right, let me take this down. All right. Oops, I'm getting lost in my own sauce here. All right. All right, what else? What else should we talk about? We got like 20 minutes left, and I am very tired. I am soon. I have an interview with Frank Milburn about Amy Estridge. That's gonna come out on Monday. Yeah, that's fair. You were censored. That's ridiculous. Oh, you weren't here, CJ Cobra Commander 84, with my weird story. I was supposed to interview him 2 days from now, and I've interviewed him in the past. And last time I talked to him, I think was April 17th, and then he died like 5 days later on April 22nd. Yeah, I'm very familiar with Pete Carroll. I actually missed the guy. Actually, I think I had like a bunch of dreams about him like 2 nights ago or something like that. And then I was just telling folks as I was going through my iTunes on the ride up here, his voice just like, somehow I had accidentally uploaded it to iTunes at some point in the distant past. So I'm sitting in my car and I hear this hello, and it's his voice. It was really weird. So yeah. All right, if your following is high priority to you, then make it happen. Control your reality. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so, and then I also have a memorial episode for Ed Dames with Lynn Buchanan and Dave Morehouse. I'm going to try to jam it in next week and kind of push all the interviews out, like by whatever one, the next slot out, because I'm done editing it. I've already uploaded it. It's just in private mode right now, so you can't see it because I haven't designed like a thumbnail and all that noise yet. So anyway. Yeah. I'm always, even on vacation. I don't miss it. I don't miss a week. I never miss a week. What I should do though is record some of them so I can actually miss a week. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's true. I need to get a haircut too. I gotta shave, not shave, but I gotta trim the beard. I gotta get a haircut. So corrupt genocidal puppet is weaponized. I don't know anything about Tedros, but how many lives are you doing and when? Actually, I will have one live on Wednesday because I do like a monthly, the first week of every month. So there will be one on Wednesday, and then there'll be another one on Saturday. And I always have them on Saturdays. Yeah, I missed. Yeah, it was like a pre-recorded. Yeah, I missed once. You're right. I missed once. Yeah, Laird Barron. That's the guy that we had that dream experiment. Laird Barron. That's why he writes all that dark shit. Like he writes really, really dark stuff, and it's not like dark because it's vile. It's just like it engages on a whole other intellectual level. So, in fact, I could probably, how can I show this? Yeah, I bet you I can do that. Just bear with me. Oops. All right, since this is members only, I can actually see it. Come on. All right. Bear with me. Hold on. Let me try something again. I might actually just play the teaser for you all. I just have to. Okay. Let's just put him up there. You can probably just hear my voice. All right, here we go. So this is the first one, but there's a second one after this.
On that occasion, this figure, and he said the figure, because the guy was like 7 feet tall. He was like maybe even taller. And he said he was, almost like disproportionate. It was the middle of the winter, and the road had been plowed. There was like a small berm about 2.5 feet high. The figure stepped over it and just sank down, was gone. Because my brother at Bros didn't know whether he was like most of the way to the bus stop. It was over a mile back to his. He's like, "What do I do? What do I do?" And then the figure just disappeared.
Anyway. Oops. So that episode is. Oops. What am I doing here? There we go. I'm back. So anyway, that's a little teaser. If you're like a first lieutenant and above or a captain, you can watch that now. The one with the dream sequence is the episode right after that. It's like got like a red, whatchamacallit, a reddish thumbnail. There we go. All right, we got that. Yeah, so yeah, we already answered that. Good night, David. Yep. Oh, I had a bad experience with Jim Butcher. Just so you know, he was kind of a prick. I'll just leave it at that. I asked him to be in an anthology, and he's like, "I can't do it now." I'm like, by that time, I'm like, "Well, if I give you an extension, would you be able to do that?" And he said, "I said I couldn't do it." I'm just like, "All right, you know what? Fuck you. Like, I'll never ask you again." So that's my view of him. Yeah, I do like Lovecraft stuff. I'll see you, Spiritual Ascension. Thanks for watching. Anyway, what'd you all think? That really happened. Like, that really happened to his brother. And this figures the same entity that appeared as in his dreams. So that's the connection. And he's as he kind of gets older and reflects on his life, he kind of realized that like a lot of this crazy stuff, it doesn't happen to other people. And he thinks he's been thinking about it. He's just like, yeah, there's something crazy there. Maybe. Yikes. Hmm. All right, what else? Yeah, I saw somewhere that like there's some small like 1%, 1 to 2% of American DNA they can't trace. I don't know. I'm not. I don't know the source of where that came from. What about retrocausality as a topic? Did you have any like percentage that was unidentifiable? Huh. The specific mitochondrial DNA haplogroups are the only ones capable of surviving the radiation and non-inertial G forces of reverse engineering. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, that might be what they're talking about. I don't know. Or who knows? Maybe it's just like a garbage story. Huh. I mean, that could just be rounding error, you know? Maybe. I mean, there's stories that the Hopi have about us coming from like another world. Let's see what else we got. Any repeat regular drop-ins in your dreams? No, no, people like nobody messes with me in my dreams. Because when they do, like it's like dropping in on a grizzly bear in my experience. No, well, I guess Ryan K. I don't even know who Sabrina Wallace is. What's we doing? Uh, huh? Is that the Novartis guy, Ryan? Interesting. Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to do that story about that. Not on the interview, but while I'm there. It's not just a Hopi, Klickitat, Yakima, some Dene of similar ledgers in the population of Earth following. Interesting. All right, all right. I welcome folks coming by. I had a friend. I showed up in their dream um, last night. I don't know why, but I mean, again, it could just be their construct of me. Who knows? I didn't deliberately intend to show up there, but um, huh. All right, so Solat US expat saying, I think that he is doing maybe well because of his setup. Yeah, I think in-person interviews definitely helps in a studio. Maybe someday you will reach that point. I think that it might be. It might be. I mean, he's certainly like, well, I don't want to say too much about. Oh boy. All right. I will let you know if I do that, though. I don't. Oh, this chair is really uncomfortable. Oh man. All right. Anything else in the last 4 minutes that y'all want to cover or talk about? Okay. You see this in the sudden wellness check starting in specific families. It's not about health. It's about identifying resilient genetic lines before the old system is completely scrapped. Wellness checks. Yeah, that's creepy. That's some creepy stuff. Oh my God. My battery's drained down to like 27%. I'll be fine, I think. Yeah, truth is within. Thank you, layman. Or lame matrix. Yeah. I will. I'll probably talk to him after. Thanks, Alex, for showing up. I appreciate you. All right. Man, it was a long, long day today. In a good way, but still. All right. Anything else folks want me to cover? We're at the palindromic 8:58 my time. 2 more minutes. And then I'm going to get some work done and maybe try to get some shut eye. Oops. Good night, lane metrics. Whoop. Yeah, that is sensory overload governance. Yep. Yep. That might very well be, Ryan. That might very well be. It makes sense. I mean, they're trying to pass the Clarity Act. Like that's a big digital currency thing that's coming. Thank you, Mermaid Moxie. I really appreciate that. Oh boy. Is your compass needle still strongly point north? If so, don't buy the. Yeah, I think that's fair. Thank you, Sally Forth Alone. As always, it's great to see you. Yeah, be well, everyone. We got 1 more minute. I mean, I'll still be playing music afterwards, but because why not? But take care of yourselves in the upcoming week. I know I'm going to be working hard to do all these new things for the channel to try to at least accelerate its growth. All right. Good night. God bless, and have a fantastic and fruitful week. Good night, y'all.
she stumbles through the fields. She can't see, though she tries. Should've worn her penance. Now she stumbles. Now she cries. Her skin's red and it burns, and the fields go on for miles. Life sucks you dry. She wonders why. Wonders why. she stumbles through the fields. She can't see, though she tries. Should've worn her pennant. Now she stumbles. Now she cries. Her skin's red and it burns, and the fields go on for miles. Life sucks you dry. She wonders why.